Let me ask you a question. What's your time worth? Not what you're getting paid. What's it actually worth? Because I guarantee you're treating your time like it's worthless. You're spending hours on things that generate zero value, zero income, zero progress, and then you wonder why you're broke, why you can't get ahead, why you're stuck. It's because you're wasting the most valuable asset you have, your time. And I'm about to show you exactly how much this is costing you. Before we start, if you're ready to start valuing your time like wealthy people do, if you're ready to stop wasting hours on garbage and start focusing on high-value activities, subscribe to this channel right now. We're building a community of people who understand that time is money, literally, and wasting time is wasting money. Hit that button. Let's go. Here's what most people don't understand. Your time has a dollar value, an actual number, and that number should inform every decision you make, every activity you engage in, every task you perform. If an activity is worth less than your time, you shouldn't be doing it. Someone else should, or it shouldn't be done at all. But you don't think this way. You treat your time like it's infinite, like it's free, like it doesn't matter. And that mentality is destroying your wealth. Let me show you how to calculate the value of your time. Take your annual income goal, not what you're making now, what you want to make. Let's say it's $250,000. That's a reasonable goal for someone serious about building wealth. Divide that by 2,000 working hours per year. That's 50 weeks times 40 hours. You get 125 per hour. That's your baseline hourly value. Every hour you work should generate at least 125s in value. Anything less is you underperforming. Anything more is you winning. But here's where it gets interesting. You're not trying to be average. You're trying to be exceptional. You're trying to build real wealth. So you don't aim for $125 per hour. You aim for $1,000 per hour. That's $2 million a year if you work full time. That's wealthy. That's freedom. That's the target. And once you set that target, once you internalize that, your time is worth $1,000 per hour, everything changes. Because suddenly most of what you're doing makes no sense. You're mowing your own lawn? That's $1,000 to mow a lawn. You could hire someone for $50. You just lost $950. You're spending 2 hours grocery shopping and meal prepping. That's $2,000 worth of your time. You could order meal delivery for $200 a week. You just wasted $1,800. You're doing your own bookkeeping? That's a $1,000 per hour on data entry. You could hire a bookkeeper for $50 an hour. You're losing $950 per hour. This is how wealthy people think. This is how you should be thinking. But you're not. You're doing everything yourself. And it's keeping you broke. Now I know what you're saying, but I don't make $1,000 per hour. I can't afford to hire people to do these things. Wrong. That's backwards thinking. You don't make $1,000 per hour because you're spending your time on $20 per hour tasks. You need to free up your time so you can focus on $1,000 per hour activities. Activities that actually build wealth, that actually generate income, that actually move you forward. You can't do those activities if you're mowing lawns and doing laundry and running errands. Those are time sinks. They're wealth destroyers. They need to be eliminated or delegated. Let me break down what $1,000 per hour activities actually look like. Sales. If you're in business, sales is a $1,000 per hour activity. One good sales call can generate $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 in revenue. That's high value. That's worth your time. Strategy. Planning how to scale your business, planning your investments, planning your financial future. That's a $1,000 per hour thinking, networking, building relationships with high-value people, people who can open doors, people who can create opportunities. That's $1,000 per hour activity. Learning high-income skills, not random knowledge, high-income skills, negotiation, marketing, leadership, public speaking. These skills multiply your earning potential. Time spent developing these is $1,000 per hour investment. Creating systems, building processes that generate income without your direct involvement. That's passive income creation. That's $1,000 per hour leverage. These are the activities that build wealth. These are what you should be spending your time on. Everything else is a distraction. But what are you actually spending your time on? Let me guess. You're scrolling social media for an hour a day. That's $1,000 a day you're burning. $365,000 a year. You're watching Netflix for 2 hours every night. That's $2,000 a night, $730,000 a year. You're in pointless meetings at work for 10 hours a week. That's $10,000 a week. $520,000 a year. You're doing household chores that you could easily outsource, another $200,000 a year. Add it up. You're wasting over $1.8 million per year of potential value. That's the cost of not valuing your time. And before you say that's hypothetical, that you don't actually make $1,000 per hour, so you're not losing money, you're missing the point. You don't make $1,000 per hour because you're not acting like your time is worth $1,000 per hour. Wealthy people value their time at a premium before they're wealthy. That's why they become wealthy. They protect their time. They guard it. They refuse to waste it on low-value activities. They delegate, they automate, they eliminate. They focus exclusively on high-value tasks, and their income rises to match how they value their time. This is the fundamental mistake broke people make. They think they need to make a lot of money before they can value their time highly. Wrong. You value your time highly, and then you make a lot of money. The valuation comes first. The income follows. It's cause and effect. You treat your time like it's worth $1,000 per hour. You start making decisions differently. You stop wasting time. You start focusing on what matters. And your income increases because you're finally doing high-value work instead of low-value busy work. Let me give you a concrete example. You're an entrepreneur or sales professional. You have two options for how to spend your day. Option 1, spend 4 hours cold calling potential clients. Option 2, spend 4 hours doing administrative work, updating your CRM, organizing files, responding to routine emails. If you value your time at $1,000 per hour, option 1 is worth $4,000. You might close 1 or 2 deals worth $10,000 to $50,000 each. Option 2 is worth maybe $100. That's work a $25 per hour assistant could do. Which option do you choose? Obvious, right? But most people choose option 2 because it's comfortable, it's easy, it doesn't require courage or skill, and that's why they stay broke. Here's another example. You're looking to increase your income. You have 10 hours this week to invest in your career or business. Option 1, take an online course on advanced negotiation tactics. Option 2, binge watch a new series on streaming. Option 1 is a $1,000 per hour activity. Better negotiation skills could earn you an extra $50,000 to $100,000 per year for the rest of your career. That's a 50x to 100x return on 10 hours. Option 2 is a $0 per hour activity. Entertainment, escapism, zero ROI. Which one do you choose? Be honest. Most of you choose option 2, and that's why your income doesn't grow. This is the time audit you need to do. Track every hour of your day for 1 week, every single hour. Then categorize each hour. Is this a $1,000 per hour activity, a $100 per hour activity, a $20 per hour activity, or a $0 per hour activity? Be brutally honest. Most of you will find that you're spending 80% of your time on activities worth less than $50 per hour, and maybe 5% of your time on activities actually worth $1,000 per hour. That ratio needs to flip. You need to be spending 80% of your time on high-value activities and outsourcing, automating, or eliminating everything else. Now let's talk about how to actually implement this. First, identify all the low-value activities in your life. Anything worth less than $100 per hour, lawn care, house cleaning, grocery shopping, laundry, basic errands, routine administrative tasks, data entry. These need to go. You either pay someone else to do them or you eliminate them entirely. Yes, this costs money up front, but it frees up your time for high-value activities, activities that generate far more than what you're paying for the help. Second, batch low-value activities that you absolutely must do yourself. Don't check email throughout the day. That's constant interruption. Check it twice a day in 30-minute blocks. Don't take every phone call immediately. Batch your calls. Return them all at once. Don't run errands scattered through the week. Do them all in 1 2-hour block. Batching reduces transition time, reduces context switching, makes you more efficient with necessary low-value tasks so you can get back to high-value work faster. Third, and this is critical, learn to say no. No to meetings that don't need you. No to projects that don't move your goals forward. No to favors that waste your time. No to social obligations that provide no value. Your time is limited. Every yes to something low value is a no to something high value. Protect your time aggressively, ruthlessly. If an opportunity or request doesn't clearly generate high value, the answer is no, automatically. Don't even think about it, just no. Fourth, invest in tools and systems that create leverage, software that automates tasks, services that handle routine work, systems that generate income without your direct involvement. Yes, these cost money, but they're investments in your time. They free you up to focus on what actually matters, what actually generates wealth. A $200 per month assistant is cheap if it frees up 10 hours per month. That's $10,000 worth of your time for $200. That's a 50x return. That's a no-brainer investment. Fifth, focus obsessively on your highest value skills. What do you do better than almost anyone? What generates the most income per hour of effort? What creates the most long-term value? Whatever that is, that's where you spend your time. Everything else gets delegated or eliminated. You're the CEO of your life. CEOs don't do administrative work. They don't mow lawns. They don't run errands. They focus exclusively on strategy, relationships, and high-impact decisions. You should operate the same way. Now, here's the mindset shift that needs to happen. You need to stop seeing outsourcing as an expense and start seeing it as an investment. When you pay someone $30 per hour to clean your house and that frees you up to do work worth $1,000 per hour, you didn't spend $30. You made $970. That's profit. That's a smart financial decision. That's what wealthy people do. They buy back their time. They invest in leverage. They understand that time is the only non-renewable resource. You can't make more time. You can only use it more wisely. But broke people see outsourcing as wasteful, as lazy, as something only rich people do. Wrong. It's what makes people rich. You need to spend money to buy back your time before you're rich. That's the path to becoming rich, not after, before. This is the investment that pays off. This is what accelerates your wealth building. Because once your time is freed up, once you're focusing on high-value activities, your income explodes, your wealth compounds, your life transforms. Let me tell you what happens when you actually implement this. I did this years ago. I was doing everything myself, all the low-value tasks. I was busy, constantly busy, but I wasn't progressing. My income was flat. Then I did a time audit. I realized I was spending maybe 10 hours a week on actual high-value work. The rest was garbage, low-value tasks that weren't moving me forward. So I started outsourcing. I hired a virtual assistant. I hired a house cleaner. I started using meal delivery. I automated my bookkeeping. I delegated everything that wasn't core to my business. You know what happened? My income tripled in 1 year. Tripled, not because I worked more hours, because I worked more valuable hours. I went from 10 hours per week of high-value work to 50 hours per week. My available time for wealth-generating activities increased 5x, and my income tripled. That's the power of valuing your time correctly. That's what happens when you stop wasting time on low-value tasks and start focusing on what actually matters. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start operating this way, it compounds. You make more money, you can afford to outsource more things, you free up more time, you focus on even higher value activities. You make even more money. It's a virtuous cycle, an upward spiral. But you have to start the cycle. You have to make the initial investment in buying back your time. You have to stop being cheap with your time and start being strategic. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I can't afford to outsource anything. I'm barely making ends meet. I hear you. But here's the truth. You can't afford not to. You're stuck in your current income level because you're spending all your time on low-value activities. You need to free up time for high-value activities if you want your income to grow. Start small. Hire someone for 2 hours a week. $40. Use those 2 hours to do work that generates $500. You just made $460. That's a positive return. Next week, hire them for 4 hours. Use that time to generate $1,000. Now you're really moving. It compounds from there. Or here's another approach. Cut something, cut cable, cut subscriptions, cut eating out. Take that $200 per month and hire help. Use the freed up time to start a side business, to upskill, to network, to do something that generates income. That's the trade. Less consumption, more investment in your time. That's how you break out of the cycle. That's how you start building wealth. Here's the brutal reality. You have 168 hours per week. If you sleep 56 hours, that leaves 112 waking hours. If you waste even 20 hours per week on low-value activities, that's $20,000 per week you're burning, over $1 million per year. You can't build wealth while wasting $1 million a year of potential value. It's impossible. You need to reclaim that time. You need to redeploy it toward wealth creation, toward high-value work, toward activities that actually generate returns. So here's your challenge. This week, do a time audit. Track every hour. Be honest. Categorize each activity by value. Then identify the biggest time wasters, the lowest value activities consuming the most hours. Those are your targets. Those need to be eliminated or outsourced immediately. Next week, free up 5 hours by outsourcing or eliminating low-value tasks. Use those 5 hours for high-value work. Sales calls, skill development, strategic planning, income-generating activities. Track the results. I guarantee you'll see immediate impact. And once you see that impact, once you realize that your time actually does have massive value when used correctly, you'll never go back. You'll never waste hours on meaningless tasks again. You'll become obsessive about protecting your time, about guarding it, about investing it wisely, because you'll understand what I'm telling you right now. Your time is your most valuable asset, more valuable than money, more valuable than any possession, because time, when used correctly, generates everything else. But once it's gone, you can't get it back. Wealthy people understand this intuitively. That's why they value their time so highly. That's why they refuse to waste it. That's why they delegate everything that's not their highest use. They know that every hour spent on low-value work is an hour not spent building wealth, and they refuse to make that trade. You need to adopt the same mindset today, right now. Start valuing your time at $1,000 per hour, even if you don't make that yet, especially if you don't make that yet. Because that mindset shift is what creates the income. The valuation comes first, the money follows. Now, if this message resonated with you, if you realize you've been wasting your most valuable asset, here's what you need to do. First, subscribe to this channel. We focus on high-value strategies. We don't waste time on fluff or theory. We give you actionable tactics that actually build wealth. Second, comment below with your biggest time waster, the low-value activity consuming the most of your time. Write it down. That's the first step to eliminating it. Third, share this with someone who's busy but not productive, someone working hard but not getting results, someone who needs to understand that activity doesn't equal progress. This channel exists to show you how wealthy people actually think, how they make decisions, how they allocate their time. And the truth is, they treat time like it's their most valuable resource, because it is. Money can be replaced, time cannot. Every hour you waste is an hour you'll never get back. An hour that could have built wealth, could have created value, could have changed your life. Stop wasting your hours. Start investing them. That's how you win. Now go make it happen.